So I'm just connecting with the people that have been listening to entertainment online that are kind of worried about their money because I know people are trying to save for school, and I'm just going to be like myself, like Isaiah, like, hey, So one of the things I do want to just share to people, just transparent, because this is a business that I kind of proposed to my community and they helped me kind of craft this and everything. Uh, I I'm just gonna share it just transparent, like I'm a friend of someone that's been listening for a very long time. I just have to be very careful that when I'll just share a metaphor. I had a dream, either just I had a dream. I was at Giovanna Ventura's show, and we all know Giovanna. We love Giovanna Ventura for just being who she is, right? And I'm at her show, and I want to see her show because I'm interested. Like, I'm a consumer. I'm a business guy. I do music. I want to meet her fans face to face. I want to see her fans. Now, when I go to the show in the dream, they're obviously of Caucasian ethnicity, and they keep telling me, basically like vibing to me, that this is my money, Isaiah. And I'm like, this is Giovanna Ventura though. And they said, this is my money, Isaiah. Right? The point is, I basically went, it was like when like, oh, you can't stand up for her and all this stuff. I'm like, well, this is weird because I'm going to stand up for Giovanna Ventura. So I go up there and I meet her. Everything I experienced was beautiful. And I let her know she needs to truthfully, in this reality, own your entire production or your set. Like, you need to own it. Because when they say you can't protect Giovanna Ventura, it's like, I just heard words. I just went and protected her and kept going. So the, I guess, point that I make with what I'm getting to is, like, as I'm doing music, I can't really be like, if I'm in the spotlight spreading, people are going to mirror and do everything that I do. So if I'm slow in a department of reality, right, I'm going to say that's my fault. For an example, let me see if I can get a better example of this. Lying about hard work. Now, if I just go with the narrative that everyone else, let's just be real, this is a real statement. Everyone else who kind of put drugs and alcohol first and did not put God first and did not put truth first and did not put studying hard first, like, if I believe that the drugs accumulated to happiness and fulfillment forever, I would be lying to people. So this is just a nice way of introducing, you know, that reality to this. I just got to make sure that when the next person does this, I'm not lying to his reality. So let's say that you, like, this is truthfully my business. I did this myself. Like, this is my money. Like, I crafted music where you're like, this sounds expensive. It sounds like a very high quality, like, sounds like someone's made a lot of. So here is the truth. My father told me, because he was the CEO and founder of a business called Family Home Health Services Incorporated. If you don't know, there's over like 19,000 Inc. businesses that had paid employees. My father had offices pretty much all over Michigan and Florida at a particular time. I believe in Texas as well. And I think where he's had business ties, or at least his business partner has business ties in Cali. But when I talk with him at a very young age because I watched him do business, like helping people, not like our version of business, but you want to serve a community, you have the skill set to basically solve their problems. So he's dealing with complex issues and he's able to flip things around and make profit so that these people can basically continue to do business and to support a community. He told me, because I asked him about Billionaire and I asked him about, like, when they say this person's a billionaire, why doesn't he give money to Africa? And he said, this is what he told me, and I want you to understand. I want you to trust his perspective because you're going to learn that this is a little bit different for me, just like him. When you do something yourself and it's not handed to you, like you start something yourself, it's probably better in this reality. He said, if someone like you, let's say you hear, like, I'm gonna use big people, like let's say someone that's like Jeff Bezos. If he gets paid $1 billion, he was basically telling me it doesn't mean that all of the money has come in yet, if that makes sense. Like, he may be a billion and it may yet to have been transferred. He may have a billion and it's all electronic and it's contracted. It may be, but it's not. Your perspective of I have money is a little bit different, because if I was to ask him for $1 billion, it's not to say that he could just pull it out and just straight up give it to you like the way you're saying he should just be able to give it to you. So I want you to think, with this music endeavor, if you care about money, you can care about money. But I am encouraging you to do a little bit of research if you care about entertainment. Football's entertainment. You have WWE's entertainment, boxing's entertainment, OnlyFans, podcasting. I'm a big fan of podcasts, entertainment. Oprah's entertainment, books are entertainment if it goes on television. Just understand that in my reality, I feel this is what's going to happen. If it turns out that this is just like my dad said, where they don't actually give you $1 billion at all, but you have made $1 billion, then they will just give you what you truthfully needed in business language to become successful. And what does that mean? If I needed a house, the house was paid for. If I needed a car, the car and the gas was paid for. Then, if it turns in you need help, you could merge and get the help you need from someone bigger, or you would just merge with the rest of the industry by doing a contract or a deal, and then you just become the average. And I assume then you would already have everything. You wouldn't even care about money. So I want people to think logically. And why? I do want you to think the way that my brain is thinking in this reality of being, because I'm a CEO of an entertainment company and I watch this film animation studio, motion capture animation. God did not promise us the financial stability of money. Now, I believe I became financially stable. It's probably rare. But God, because of the environment, because of a whole bunch of factors, he didn't guarantee money forever. So as to say, you might have money for 5 years, but you may go broke after 5. You may have money in 10 years, but then you're broke after 10. So the ideology that you would have money, right, every single year on a consistent basis, God never promised you that unless you were abiding by like the actual truth to what is actually giving you or the reality of receiving cash flow. And I'm going to leave it at that. I just want you guys to know that is the most confusing thing for people, to change their brain. Like, they don't actually give them, like, it's like, say if I gave someone PayPal, it's like they got a whole bunch of PayPal instead of cash. Like, if it's Bitcoin, they just paid me in Bitcoin. If it's credit, right, all the money that they got is like credit. So it's not actually people's money, it's their credit card. So there's a lot of things that you guys probably would be fact checking me on. In my reality, I want you to think it's going to probably be like this. They're going to stop me and they're going to say, if you truthfully have something like a successful song or a movie, why wouldn't we have just did the right thing and say you were this net worth or worth this amount of money because you were doing the right thing? Like, you're programmed in music to think when I made more money that they're going to reward me because of a dollar sign every single time. In football, you don't get rewarded by how much money you make. You get rewarded by how sober and like ethical and obedient. There are other factors in rising to a different class. So I'm going to take this just like I just said. There's a reality where if you just did what was right with younger people, or you had good ideas, you were patient, you had good credit, there's a reality where that would accumulate to you going up the class, for them being able to have the conversation of saying you are worth this amount of money. And I want you to think, it's just like my dad said, it doesn't necessarily mean that the amount of money that you have is accessible the way that people think it's accessible. I want you to think it's going to be unique and it does, and also their reality of payment. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's just liquid transfers over. It might have to be verified by a whole bunch of things, you know. So that's like a nice way of saying, just be careful, because people don't pay everything. At least right now, they didn't pay for everything with liquid cash. Just think like school. Like, everyone didn't pay liquid cash. So if everyone paid in a loan and they're still waiting to pay their loan off, that's just, I guess, electronic money or paper money that was backed up by paper, or money that was backed up by paper or something. But the logic is that they just gave them the money. It's not like someone went and said, hey, this is actually from my reserve. So, but that's an explanation to what's happening. Please share this out in the open, people. And then lastly, just to kind of communicate the vision of what's going on, I had to basically separate my expectations last year to this year, and I needed to do something brand new and fresh. So I'm actually working on production. I'm working on this film animation motion capture studio or whatever, and I'm just working on some like new sounds, and I'm going to be importing some sounds. So you may be hearing a slower like build up of production, and I want it to be where when you leave your sucky life, that this is more of like an atmosphere of sound. Like when I watch the Avengers, it's like I'm at least in Infinity War, I'm like in some new reality. Like I'm inside of someone's creation and imagination, you know. And I want it to be like that, where it's like it's kind of creative. It makes me feel some type. I want that to kind of be like every single time. So yeah, it's just a summary of what I just said. Like, I feel like the critique originally was, you make music that's kind of hard. Why don't you try to like focus on making something good that's like softer? And then because your tempos were kind of fast, why don't you try to delve into something that's kind of slow? Or at least when you craft your sounds and stuff, maybe make something that I'll give it just straight up. Like, there's a reality where when you listen to a song, like, that was like so long. Or my bad, that took, it felt like 5 seconds, you know? Try crafting something where you have me hooked for a while, but it doesn't feel like 50, you know, it doesn't feel like just, there's a reality where you want to make sure that they're submerged in the entertainment, and it's not like, man, I want to keep restarting the song. Like, they're satisfied the first time is what I'm getting to.